The Sheep and Goat Judgment of the Nations, Part 4. The Identity of the 51 Goat Nations. Seir the Horite. The final group of nations are the descendants of Seir the Horite, listed in Genesis chapter 36. Seir was a Canaanite. The Horites seem to be the same people as the Hivites, as a man called Zibeon is listed as a Hivite in Genesis chapter 36, verse 2, and also as a Horite in Genesis chapter 36, verse 20. The Canaanites were the original inhabitants of Edom, the land later taken over by Esau. Esau and his sons intermarried with the Canaanite women, much to the grief of Esau's parents, Isaac and Rebekah, who were Israelites. Through this intermarriage, Seir's descendants became nations, but not godly nations. The sons of Seir were the nations descended from Seir, who intermarried with Edomites, the descendants of Esau. Some legitimate nations came from Esau. These were the 16 Dukes of Edom, listed in Genesis chapter 36. The illegitimate nations were the 26 sons of Seir, listed in Genesis 36. The Seirites and the Edomites all lived in the Mount Seir region, which is between the Dead Sea and the Gulf of Aqaba. These people intermingled and became nations, but they have no eternal future. God was against the people of this region, and Ezekiel prophesied against it. Ezekiel chapter 35, verses 2 to 3. Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. The following chart lists the sons of Seir the Horite as listed in Genesis chapter 36. You can go through and work out that there's actually 26 descendants listed in Genesis chapter 36. So to recap, we have now been through the 51 nations that will not survive the Matthew 25 judgment of the nations. They are the nations descended from Noah's grandson Canaan, who are located throughout the Middle East. That's 12 nations. The nations descended from Hagar through her son Ishmael, who are located in North Africa and Arabia. That's 13 nations. And the nations descended from Seir the Horite. That's 26 nations. The descendants of all these nations live in the Middle East, and it is interesting that their modern counterparts have all become Islamic nations. So this chart depicts all the nations in the world that have an official state religion. The green-coloured nations are all nations that officially endorse Islam as their national religion. From this we can see that Islam is actually the religion of rebellion. According to the Pew Research Center, there are about 50 Muslim majority countries in the world, although this number varies slightly from year to year. This roughly matches the 51 nations that are not part of God's eternal plan. Every individual person in the world has the choice of whether to accept Jesus or not. However, as far as the individual nations go, some of them have no future. Thank you for watching. If you found this video interesting, you can find more information at prophecy-workshop.com.